March the 8th, 2019. As you're looking at our CME tracker, notice the timestamp going into the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th at the top. If you've watched my videos for a while, normally I would not mention a coronal mass ejection or solar flare emitting a coronal mass ejection this small. But notice right here on the 11th at 1800 hours, that's about midnight on the East Coast on the 11th. Now, you got a plus or minus 7 hours of arrival time in the window, but if you're traveling 93 million miles to get here, that's milliseconds as far as a window. But again, Mars is pulling in front of the sun. That's the orange dot. The yellow dot behind it is our planet Earth. Look at the top row. So here again, around midnight on the 11th, going into the 12th, we're going to have a coronal mass ejection past the Earth. Again, it's small compared. But listen, we've been getting 7.0 quakes from solar wind speeds at 500 kilometers per second, about 1.2 million miles an hour. This one's going to cross our planet at 600 kilometers per second. Again, a small flare, but with our weak shields, guys, it could be important to watch it. Now, I put this up early this morning. It was an Earth-directed solar flare warning, March the 8th, 0300 UT. And we'll look at the actual movie of that. But notice at the bottom it says the shock wave suggests an expansion velocity of more than 600 kilometers per second. That's 1.3 million miles per hour. Now, they hadn't picked it up on the SOHO coronagraph and had not put it up on the CME tracker this morning. It's why I was waiting to do this video. Again, SDO images there, SOHO there, different satellites, guys. If you go to space weather, that's where we're looking at that information. But let's go to the Solar Dynamics Observatory. The sunspot at the top, and right there was your eruption. That's what we're looking at. And the size of that sunspot, guys, you could put about 30 of our planets inside that, just to try to give you a comparison of what we're dealing with. And the SOHO, or the Solar Dynamics Observatory, is about 1 million miles closer to the sun than we are, which puts it at 92 million instead of 93 million. Looking at the solar wind speed over the last few days during these peaks, notice at around 480 kilometers per second, we were getting 6 and 7.0 earthquakes, and we were feeling some quakes through Tennessee, northward up and through the North American Craton. But remember, they're saying this coronal mass ejection, because of that sun flare, will cross our planet at about 600 kilometers per second, which is about 1.3 million miles an hour. Again, not that important during grand solar maximum. But with our shields weak, we're going to have to watch it. 6.0 during the last day in top, just in the Philippines, guys, moves up around the Ring of Fire. And if you remember, again, we've had quakes in the U.S. in unusual places, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee. Things are shifting a little. So I'm putting out a quake watch, not a warning, because of this coronal mass ejection. So around midnight Eastern time on the 11th, we'll be watching it. And don't forget the plus or minus 7 hours arrival time. So on the 11th, start paying attention to it, simply because it's going to be, instead of about 1.1 or 1.2 million miles per hour solar wind speed, as we saw those peaks, it's going to be about 1.3 million miles per hour. Very fast, almost unfathomable to the human mind. But we're watching it, guys. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.